What's going on? What is up? Saturday night. It's late night. Most people right now are probably either in bed, getting ready for bed, or they're out having fun like I used to. When I was younger, midnight, it was still early. Seriously, it was early. We hadn't even begun to think about what the end of the night was going to look like. That wasn't for hours yet. In a lot of cases, when I was younger too, I used to work at restaurants and stuff a lot. This is even before I was 21. And as soon as the restaurant was closed, as soon as people were out of there, we were out of there. And it would be 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, and our night would just be starting. Of course, a lot of that was in the 90s. And in the 90s, the parties didn't even really start until midnight, 1 o'clock. A lot of raves, a lot of partying, doing drugs and chasing chicks and listening to just terrible music. I've never been one. I like some electronic music, but there's a lot of it that I just don't care for. A lot of it that I think is kind of like garbagey, excuse me. And the way music has been lately, it's no surprise, that everything's kind of trash. Music's kind of trash right now. It's just not good. And you see this in society usually when the culture starts to break down a little bit. Everything else kind of breaks down around it, especially art. Art's usually like the telltale sign, and music is obviously a form of art. And you'll see, just look around. Music sucks. Movies, with very little exception, suck. The different types of entertainers that run around are more interested in pushing some kind of strange ideology than, entertaining you really anymore. They used to care about come and see me in this movie. They'd sell themselves as an entertainer. And now they're busy telling you that you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit because you didn't vote the way I voted. You piece of garbage, human filth. You Trump supporter. I get a lot of questions from people that are like, why do you support Trump so much? I don't think I have the time to explain why. There's so many reasons for it. But the basic reason is in my lifetime, I've never seen a president or any politician for that matter get elected to a position and then right away start trying to make good on the promises that he made during an election. When Trump came down the escalator that day in 2015, I said, this is going to be president. This is the guy. I knew it. This guy was loved in society. And then all of a sudden he was a villain because the media decided he was a villain. I've never seen so many people on the left are just all of a sudden they hate Donald Trump. I'm like, you guys all used to watch his show. The whole "you're fired" thing was a big deal for a lot of people in culture. And this idea that now overnight, because the media said so, that everybody's going to hate Donald Trump, well, that simply wasn't going to fly with me. I don't trust the media at all. And I don't think there's any reason to trust them. They've been completely and totally untrustworthy for as long as I can remember. They want to sell you a bill of goods. And that bill of goods is whatever master they serve at that moment, on the airwaves in that moment. They're serving a master. Which one is it? It's whatever they're selling. But make no mistake, These people are all ardent capitalists. They love living in their big homes. They love negotiating their contracts for big money. They love getting those big checks. They love taking big vacations and having big toys and big gifts. And they love all that. But when it comes to what they want to practice, they practice Marxism, right? They want to tell people to practice Marxism. But they're busy being ardent capitalists with their big, huge cars and houses and salaries and everything else. Sorry, I'm trying to reach my drink. Water's so good for you. And so it astounds me when I see these people get on TV all the time and they start talking about what the common people should do. You know, it's like this video you see of Don Lemon, and we're going to talk about a Don Lemon story here tonight. But you see this video, this Don Lemon, constantly talking shit about DeSantis, the governor of Florida, constantly talking about the problems in Florida and how they must be connected to racism somehow and Trumpism and all this bullshit. And then what does the dude do? What's the first thing he does? He goes on vacation in Florida. Him and his husband, they go on vacation in Florida. And they get caught at a resort, laying out, no masks. What happened to protecting everybody, right? It's insane to me. These people are all hypocrites. Because what they'll do is they'll tell you exactly what you should do while flaunting exactly what they're telling you to do. Like, don't go to restaurants, stay at home, be good to your neighbors, protect your neighbors, stay at home. Are they staying at home protecting their neighbors? No. They're out at restaurants like the French Laundry for, a solid $1,200, $1,300 a plate dinner there. God. Gavin Newsom. Old Bell's palsy boy. I heard he got Bell's palsy from that second jab. Who knows? Who knows? I wasn't there. I didn't see him, but that's the word on the street. Is he had a little issue after his second jab. And it wouldn't surprise me. So many people do. This whole idea that we can't even talk about it because, God forbid, if we talk about it, we'll get canceled. You can't talk about people getting sick after getting the second jab. Why not? If it's happening, why can't we talk about it? Because it makes people look bad, or you'll think that it'll make people not go? Dude, people OD from smoking crack all the time and die, and people still go smoke it. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. It's ridiculous, the censorship that goes on in America nowadays. I can't believe it. It's more than I ever thought would ever happen. Like, it's at a level that I never thought it would be at. I always tell people, oh, don't worry, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? Worry, because there's a lot of funky stuff going on, You got all kinds of weird people that are going to be trying to put into government, into positions that they should never be in. You've got a president that can't stop being incontinent around other people. I mean, crapping on the Pope and farting on the Duchess. Ugh. And this comes on the heels of like a few weeks prior, him running out of the White House going, oh, my butt's been wiped. Geez, thanks, bro. Your butt's been wiped. Thanks for keeping us in the loop. Was it your dog that was crapping on the floor in the White House? Was it? Joe? So, let's talk about some things. Week in review style. So, of course, Alec Baldwin has now got a lawsuit against him. It's going to be for wrongful death, I'm sure. If it's not for wrongful death, I'm sure it'll have something to do with endangerment, or creating an environment of danger. Which in my book, listen, I'm glad he's getting charged with anything, but he should be getting charged with a minimum of manslaughter. He killed a woman. I mean, how nobody else would ever get. I mean, if you were anybody, you'd be sitting in prison right now. They'd be like, you shot a woman in the head. You'd be like, oh yeah, I did, didn't I? I guess if I was Alec Baldwin, I could get away with it. Actors and A-list people get away with this crap all the time. All the time. Car accidents. Never forget that Bruce Jenner, pre-Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner, killed somebody in a car accident because he was texting or something like that. And then like a week later or 2 weeks later decided to transition into Caitlyn Jenner. And then the story went from being Bruce Jenner manslaughter to Caitlyn Jenner brave new woman. And then 6 months later got voted Woman of the Year. I mean, seriously, Woman of the Year? That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. How do you go from being Bruce Jenner, triathlete, to killing a person in a car accident, killing a woman? He killed a woman and then became one. And he didn't get charged for manslaughter after he killed a man, too, as when he became a woman. He became a woman. Jeez.
That's a huge bitch.
You got that right. You got that right all day long. That is a huge bitch. All right? For real. Caitlyn Jenner. Oy, oy, oy. But it just blew me away. I'm like, wait a second. A year ago, this was a man who killed someone in a car accident. Now it's Woman of the Year. And like, if you've seen the Dave Chappelle special, The Closer, he couldn't hit it more, like, hit the nail on the head. He's like, this bitch is better than all you women. How fucking insulting. And I'm not against trans. I mean, I think I've made that very clear. I just think that it's weird and insulting and kind of off-putting that you would make somebody that just killed somebody in a car accident less than a year prior the Woman of the Year, and they're not a woman. I'm not saying we can't have an award for transsexual beauties too, but let's keep the categories real. It's so fucking insulting to women. It's ridiculous, man. It just is. Oh, by the way, this person that was born a man, played football in college, blah, 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 blah. That's Shirley now. And Shirley don't take no shit. You understand? Shirley was a linebacker, and Shirley don't take no shit. But Shirley's 10 times the woman you'll ever be. So Shirley is now the new Woman of the Year. And I understand that Shirley was a fucking MVP like 4 years in a row in the NFL. All right? But times they are changing, and you're just going to have to suck it up and accept it. Because Shirley don't take no shit. It's ma'am. It's ma'am. Dude, that'll forever kill me if that transsexual dude. Jesus. That poor kid at the store, he didn't know what to say. He was like, I'm sorry, sir. It's just some stoned kid working at a GameStop, man. And he's like, Trey's like, you just call me sir again? Well, yeah, dude, you're freaking out like a dude. What do you expect? He's just some scared teenage kid that's smoking pot in the back room. He's exchanging like fucking wizard games and fucking, special ops and shit. Like, what do you expect, man? He's not keyed in on the pronoun game. He's worrying about his next bong hit on his break. Knock it off, obnoxious person. Just because you're transgendered, it doesn't give you the right to be obnoxious. The same thing with the gay community. There's this huge thing going on in the gay community where it's like, I'm gay, I have a right to be a bitchy, loud, obnoxious human being in public because, hey, girl, hey. No, you sound like an asshole. You're not a Yaz queen. You're a fucking dickhead. Okay? For decades, the gay community just wanted to be accepted as normal. And I don't have a problem with that. Okay? But it went from accept us as normal people to orgies at the Pride Festival and being complete obnoxious assholes. No, that's not the whole gay community. Of course, I don't want to pigeonhole everybody, but there's a lot of it going on out there. A lot of it. And it's not a good look. It's just not a good look, And it's not, and it's not just the gay community that does this kind of thing. There's a lot of people that are part of these different communities that act certain ways at certain times. For instance, here, I'll take one out on myself. I'm an Italian. When Rocky and shit first came out in the 80s, every Italian in the world was like, yo, hey, fuck you, hey, yo, motherfucker. Oh. It was ridiculous. It was obnoxious. Okay? And it was, you should have been treated like a joke when you act like that. Because it's ridiculous. So, I'm not just picking on one group. There's a lot of that goes around, But this whole acting like a fucking asshole thing and be like, don't make me flip my bed switch. Don't make me punch your teeth out. What do you want me to say? You know what I mean? I'll be kind to you. You be kind to me. How about we do that? So, anyways, crazy. And Joe Biden's fart, that was crazy too. We already pretty much talked about that. I mean, I just can't believe it. I never in my life, just never in my life have I ever thought our president's going to go overseas and he's going to take a gigantic fucking shit. Right on the Pope. And listen, I am no fan of this Pope. This particular Pope is this to me is a false papacy. I've said it since he was ascended to Pope. It's a real shame. I did not like the last Pope either. I'm glad that he's gone. He was too surrounded with scandal, It had a lot to do with the sex scandals in the Catholic Church and stuff. He had a lot to do with moving certain priests around and reassigning them, knowing that they were guilty of sexual assault against young boys. And so I'm glad to see him go. That stuff can't be tolerated, man. It can't be tolerated. It's, first of all, pedophilia is disgusting. You want to talk about a mortal sin, that's a mortal sin. All right? That's first and foremost. Second of all, you're taking advantage of people when you're in a position where these people are very devout if they're usually involved in the church, right? So you're not just messing with somebody like you're their boss in that kind of a position of power. That's a totally different animal. You are a phone call to these people's deity, in a sense. Okay, you're a representative of the deity, a conduit to their deity. How are they supposed to say no? How are they supposed to react to you when you put them in a situation like that? And it's very scary I'm sure for a lot of these young boys that were involved in it. And it's horrible. And it's a true scar on the world of Catholicism. It really is. It's not a good look. But either way, with all that said, I still don't think you should be taking a crap on the Pope because you can't hold it. He's pulling wardrobe changes in the middle of his act. He's like, oh, I'm in the middle. What stage are we at the Vatican? Is it time for a wardrobe change? Should I exit stage right? Fucking put on a different suit. My diaper's full. My diaper's full. Somebody show me where the bathroom is. I gotta take a dump again. I think my diaper's full. So messed up. How messed up? I never thought. I never thought I'd be talking about a president crapping in his pants. I mean, listen. Let's not all act high and mighty. It's happened to every single one of us. But the ones that it's happened to that can normally control their bowels, but there was an accident because of some extenuating circumstance, well, That's understandable. We've all been there. Been taken by surprise or played a little fast and loose with a fart. And my motto has always been, and this is 100% truth. My motto has always been, never trust a fart. Okay? If you ain't sure, it ain't worth it. Do you know what I mean? Because you be like, oh man, I know, I just gotta pop this one out. And then you go to bust out, and what ends up happening? A mess. And then you gotta do the quick clinch, and sometimes it don't work. Once you crack the door, the cold wind comes in. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you don't have a choice. It's just it's uncontrollable. You got yourself in a real sticky situation, or in this case, a stinky situation. So anyways, Joe Biden and his fart, so gross. He's such a disgusting fuck. It's just ugh. And the people that he has working for him, like hanging around him and his spokespeople and stuff, these are the worst people. You got that Simone Sanders chick. Simone Sanders is a radical. Like, just go look at the stuff she used to say in just media interviews before she was a part of any kind of cabinet or any kind of administration. Look at the things she was saying. The same thing with this Jean-Pierre chick. All right, she's a nutcase too. Jen Psaki is a nutcase. I forget what she was running. She was running some group after she got out of the Obama administration in Washington. She's been there for the last 4 years, obviously, just waiting for some other radical to get in place so she can get another job. But she was running some group, or she was a part of some think group. They're like Marxist communist group. They're like avowed. And this is the spokesperson in the United States for the president. The most popular politician in the history of the United States of America. Did you know that? Not only the history of the United States, but I'm going to do you one better. Never, ever in the world, in the history of the world, has somebody got as many votes as Joe Biden got. Never anywhere. Not even in Xi Jinping's China, where they don't vote, of course. He goes, I chancellor or you die. They go, you're the chancellor, brother. You're the chancellor, or whatever he is, the grand poopah over there. But what a fucking mess, man. So, all right, moving along. Dave Portnoy, my man, El Presidente. I did a video about Dave. Dave Portnoy did absolutely nothing wrong. Business Insider is normally kind of a slag magazine. Anyways, it used to, I think, at one point actually have some decent business stuff going on inside of it. But the fact of the matter is that they run a lot of hit pieces now. And apparently I've gotten more information since because more information obviously clearly has come out since I made my video, because I made my video literally the day after the story dropped on him. And it was my opinion at the time that this was just all bullshit. It was some kind of a setup hit job, that the actual article was meant specifically to smear him. It would, and for no other reason than to smear him. Why else would you talk about somebody's sexual proclivities in public when there's been absolutely nothing that they've done that's illegal? You know, I mean, you're just trying to say, look, he's a sleaze because he likes this. Well, don't you think that that's subjective? And not only that, don't you think it's none of your fucking business? You know, if I find out something about somebody and their sexual proclivity, I don't go out there and announce it to people. Who does that? Sickos do that. People are like, oh, guess what I heard about so-and-so? Wait till you hear this about so-and-so. What the fuck is wrong with you? Seriously. Now, it's one thing for very close friends to talk about certain things. But if you're out there, if you want to write an article about somebody because they like fucking rough sex, That's your problem. That's a you issue. That's not a Dave Portnoy issue. These women slept with Dave Portnoy because they wanted to. They both slid into his DMs looking for the fucking beatdown. All right? That's what they looked for. They were looking to get dick down. One of them went and bragged about it to everybody afterwards. And then once her mommy found out, she was like, I don't really... Her mom didn't like the idea of the fact that a man in his 40s fucked this 19-year-old girl or whatever. 20-year-old girl. Well, my message to the mom is, hey, listen, your daughter's a hoe. And she may not even really be a hoe. I mean, she definitely displayed the activities and demeanor of a hoe when you just go do some stuff like that. But hey, listen, maybe she just likes older dudes. I think the mom was giving her a hard time. They come from a blue blood family out that goes out to the islands. They obviously got money. Okay. And you have to imagine that she just didn't want to disappoint her mom or whatever. So she lied. The fact of the matter is your daughter's a hoe. And her friends know it because she's bragging about, Dave's dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get realistic. Let's stop with all the bullshit. And it was my assertion then, as it is my assertion now, that was a smear piece. And now even more so that he's released all this information, all these communications, especially the emails, a back and forth between Business Insider and him. They're clearly setting him up. They're clearly getting ready to write a hit piece on him to make him look bad. And you have to ask yourself why, right? Why? What does Business Insider get out of it? So if you don't think that Business Insider gets anything out of it, you'd have to think of this. What is the relationship between Business Insider and cancel culture? I believe, and I could be wrong, I'd have to look it up, and I can actually do that, but I'm going to be lazy right now. But I believe Business Insider wrote a kind of a slanderous article about Sargon of Akkad. And if you don't know who's Sargon of Akkad, it's Benjamin Carl. He's a commentator, philosopher, gamer, kind of cultural observer that has his own channel. I believe you can go to lotuseaters.com is their channel that they have now for themselves. And they have a YouTube channel. He also had Sargon of Akkad for years and years and years on YouTube. And he's done some great debates. He's a British guy. And he would be what we would consider in America based, but politically he would kind of be right in the middle of the road. Like he's a traditional, what we would call traditional British liberal. Okay, which is a little different than a traditional American liberal. They're actually a bit more conservative. I know that sounds weird, but they are in a lot of ways because they believe in nationalism and they believe in marriage between a man and a woman, and they believe in the nuclear family, and they believe in the working class and the true struggle of the working class, but not the true struggle of the working class in the sense of the term of communism and Marxism, but the struggle of the working class to be able to have their own freedom of movement and range to make themselves as successful as they possibly can under their own ambition. Okay, now this goes to one of the things that he supports immensely, and that would be something that I'm also on board with, which is personal responsibility and advancement through meritocracy. Okay, and advancement through meritocracy is a foundation of a free society. And it's a foundation of a capitalist society. Okay? You should be promoted in life on the merits that you have achieved. All right? These deeds are important. But there's a lot of people that are not. People that nowadays especially are advanced for all kinds of reasons. You know? And it's a sad state of affairs. But anyways, I believe Business Insider had written a slanderous article about him not too many years ago. I think it was 1 or 2 years ago. And maybe even something about Count Dankula. If you don't know who that is too, Count Dankula is he's famous for making his pug do the Nazi salute and actually getting jailed for it in Scotland and fined, I think, £500 or more. I could be wrong, could be more than that. But this is a guy that did nothing wrong. He just made a joke that people didn't like. That's insane. That he made a joke that people don't like, and for that he paid a huge fine and was locked in prison. And it's just insane. And I don't want to see that kind of thing happen here, but look at what's happening here. Look at these people that were locked up during January 6 riots. They're still sitting there. A lot of them rotting, treated like criminal, like real nasty criminals, while murderers are getting set out on the street, while illegal immigrants from other countries are getting released into the country and then committing heinous crimes, murder amongst them. It's nuts. Anyways, I don't want to get off on that tangent. If you look at the Dave Portnoy story, it hasn't changed, besides the fact that it's gotten completely and totally worse for Business Insider. They look like teenagers that are writing a Mean Girls hit piece on somebody that they hooked up with and didn't like afterwards. Oh, he was mean to me. He was mean to me. Well, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, was he supposed to be super nice? Is that what you signed up for? Did you sign up for somebody to be just super duper nice to you the whole time? No, of course you didn't. And I think you'd be ridiculous to assume that that's what was going to happen. This guy sent you a plane ticket. You're a hoe. You knew what you were doing. So there's no reason for this article other than somebody just wanted to try to destroy him, smear him, whatever. And it's fucked up. You know, this whole idea that we're just going to go around and cancel everybody for being unapologetic about who they are. Wasn't it just the left like a decade ago that was like screaming about, we're all individuals. We all are individuals. Accept us all for who we are. Unless you're someone different, then fuck you and I. If you don't think like us. We're all individuals and we're all exactly identical. Don't stray from the group. Be a lemming. Come with us over the fucking over the hillside. It's not a cliff. Just keep running. It's insane. Oh, it's insane. I think about it. It's just absolutely insane. It's crazy to me. Oh, my goodness gracious. So, the Dave Portnoy thing is pretty much blown up. It's blown up in their faces. They look like assholes. Not Dave. Dave looks great in this, but the Business Insider looks like assholes. The people that wrote the story look like assholes. The people who contributed to the story look like assholes. It's a joke, right? I mean, at this point, it's a joke. Because everybody knows that the story's bullshit. I mean, there is no story. It's a story that somebody wrote. It would be better off if they put it in the Penthouse Forum. Because that's where it belongs. It's fiction. It's also stupid. It's so dumb. Now listen, I need you guys to hang on for 1 second. I'm going to take a pee real quick. I know. I should have thought of this beforehand. But I was in a rush. So I'm just going to throw some music on here for you guys real quick. And I'll be right back. I promise. Give me just a few minutes. All right. For those of you who recognize that music, that is Nerdrotic's Bed. Check his channel out. It's YouTube /Nerdrotic. If you like anything that's comic book related, they do a lot of talking about culture and how it pertains to movies and entertainment that's going on right now. And they've got some really good stuff. I mean, it's amazing. The guy's name's Gary Beekler. Used to own a comic book shop, which the running joke used to be he's very fond of telling everybody that. But they have a great show. They do, I think it's called Friday Night Tights over there. I don't get a chance to watch it that much, but it's like they always have a bunch of really good guests on there. They're like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers is always on there, and they have the Cat Mauler is always on there. And it's good to listen to if you like to talk about culture and movies and stuff like that. So, all right. So the Rittenhouse trial, I think, pretty much wrapped up this week. You want to talk about a fucking mess? That was a mess. I've never seen a trial go like that. I've never seen that before in my life, where somebody just, first and foremost, gets absolutely railroaded. And even after the fact that he was railroaded, when everything, we all, anybody that watched the Rittenhouse events unfold live on TV, like the majority of us did, knew right away that it was a self-defense case. Period. It's not that hard to determine that it was a self-defense case. I think from the very beginning you could tell, but we have to go through the legal portion of it, which I'm okay with. But from the very beginning, this is a mess. The media, the president, members of the government were calling this guy a white supremacist. He shot 3 white people. If that's being a white supremacist, Kyle, you're doing it wrong. I mean, that's insane. You know? It's absolutely insane to call somebody a white supremacist after shooting 3 white people when race had absolutely nothing to do with any of the interactions that we know of that even happened that night. The riot itself, or whatever you want to call it, may have actually been motivated because of racial issues, but he himself was not involved in any kind of racist stuff. So again, it's another bullshit, narrative sold to you by the left, by the media, by the president of the United States. It's a joke. By the way, the president, Barack Obama, did this, if you remember. And granted, the media shouldn't have asked him because they put him in a position to have to answer it. But there is a correct answer that you can give. And if you remember, Barack Obama got involved in a lot of legal cases, especially the one that had to do with his friend that was the professor, and he got there and was calling the cops jackasses. Obama was, and he was wading into these situations and stuff, and weighing in on the situation without knowing the facts. He was just making commentary. You're the president of the fucking United States. Knock it off. Seriously. These are criminal proceedings. Knock it off. And Barack Obama was famous for doing it. I don't remember Trump doing it that often, but if he did it, I'm not a fan. Okay? I'm not a fan. The president of the United States should be like, listen, we have a legal system in this country. You're presumed innocent until proven guilty. When all the facts come out and the trial's been done and he's been judged by his peers in the jury and we figure out everything that's going on, then we can make a comment as to what happened. Besides that, and up until that, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut until I know all the details. That's the way you handle it. You don't handle it by making pre-suggestive commentary on it. It's stupid. But this kid, man, dude, what kind of Charlie Brown fucking prosecutor? We got Mr. Fauxhawk with his hipster fucking goatee. That guy was a dickhead, man. Mr. Fauxhawk with his beady eyes and his glasses. And he's got a little too much sass for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't do the sass so well. So I would have been like, listen, bro, you got to tone it down. And the judge did tell him a few times to tone it down. You know, this guy got awful lippy. And talk about like really stretching the bounds of what's acceptable. I mean, I don't think I can recall ever seeing a judge cut into a prosecutor like that. Now, I'm sure it's happened a million times. I just don't recall ever seeing it happen like that, and especially not on such a publicized national event as this is, you know? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But I think Rittenhouse is on a you know, a bullet train to acquittal. It's so obviously self-defense. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. And of course, like right away, all the tweets start coming out from all the politicians and all the actors and actresses and you know, musicians and LeBron James, the most overrated person in human history, because he can bounce a ball on the ground. He's special. Like it's you know what I'm saying? Like he comes out and tries to mock this kid. Meanwhile, all these people are fucking cowards. Everybody, every single one of them, they're all jokes. They're all jokes. I did that video where I was reading some of their tweets, and I cannot get it out of my head. This whole Dave Bautista says, the beginning of his Twitter fucking handle is VaxedAF, hashtag Team Pfizer. Poor kid trying to live my dreams or something like that. You're not a kid. You're a fucking man. You're a full-grown man. Like, you've been a man for a long time. He's got to be in his 40s or his late 30s. But I'm guessing he's in his 40s. You're not a poor kid. And don't say shit like Vaxxed AF, dude. Vaxxed AF is what a 13-year-old girl would say. Right? Do you have your leggings on, Dave? Do you have your little leggings on? I mean, you sound stupid. Vaxxed AF. Hashtag Team Pfizer. Really? Is that what this is about now? What vaccine did you get? Well, I got the fucking J&J. Which one did you got? I got Pfizer. Oh, man, I couldn't afford the Pfizer one. Aren't they all free? Fuck you, man. And seriously, Vaxxed AF. Yeah, Vaxxed ass face. I mean, it blows me away. It blows me away because I'm used to more mature individuals, I guess. I don't know, in my life. The people I know in my life are serious people. They have jobs. They own businesses. They have children. They don't live a life of Vaxxed AF. YOLO, everyone. Woo, YOLO. I mean, it's so stupid. You know what I mean? Like, grow the fuck up. What kind of a role model are you? Seriously. Like, I don't know if Dave Bautista has any kids. I mean, I don't know if he's married or not. Because I'm not that into him. I know that he's an actor, and I know that he used to be a wrestler, and I know that, you know, he tweets ridiculous things. And I know a little bit of his, like, family story because it's been put out there everywhere. Every time somebody questions him about anything, he has to inject this whole story about it. And I could be wrong. I could be getting him confused, but I think his mom is gay or something like that. And, like, you know, he grew up and that was kind of a hard thing for him or whatever. Or there was a difficulty because he saw the way his mom was treated. I don't remember exactly. Half the time, these people, when they say things in interviews, are way over embellishing the truth. And so you don't know what to believe. because they're trying to make something that was mundane and stupid sound something like it was more special or more impactful on their life. And it's just, again, that's that whole theory of being anyone's dog for a bone. You just kind of sell whatever story you need to sell at the time, depending on who you're talking to. I've seen that shit all the time. But these people like Batista and them, and especially a lot more of the newer actors, they really act like they're in these cults. I mean, that's the only like explanation that I really have for it, is that you see these people and they act like 100% like they belong to some kind of cult, because if you challenge them, they fucking lose it. Who does that? You know who does that? People that are in religious cults. When you challenge them on something, they fucking lose it. And they can't handle being criticized, and they can't handle being challenged. They can't handle knowing that somebody doesn't think the same way they do. And I'm not talking, when I say religious cults, I'm not talking about Christians. There are some sects of Christians that are out there that are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They've taken Christendom to an extreme place, right? They've taken Christendom to an extreme place, and it's not a good look. And it's exactly who everybody points at when somebody wants to say, you see, religious people are crazy. Look at these people here, And again, one of my favorite terms, they're pigeonholing all Christians and all people that are part of Christendom into that because of this one sect of Christians who are crazy. And there was that group, I forget what the Baptists, I can't remember the name of them. They were crazy. They used to go around and protest at soldiers' funerals and be real assholes and say, well, they deserve to die because blah, blah, blah. These people are nuts. You understand? That's a cult. And if you go up to them and you tell them that they're a cult, they get real angry about it. They're like, no, we're not a cult. No, we believe in Xantu. Xantu's coming back to save us all. All hail Xantu. It's like, dude, Xantu's not real. Xantu's real. Now, I believe in God. I was raised in a Catholic home, and I consider myself not a religious person, but I'm definitely a believer in God. Okay? And I don't care if you believe in God or not. That's not my concern. My concern is with me, and as yours should be with you. But here's the thing. If I'm wrong, no bubbles, no troubles. I wasted my time a little bit in life talking to a man that doesn't exist. I waste a lot of my time talking to myself. You understand how much time I've been driving in the car and I'm having full-on fucking conversations. I realize I've been talking to myself for 25 minutes. And I'm not even aware of it. Like, people could have been sitting next to me going, look at this fucking guy talking to himself in his truck over there. I'm having full-on conversations with people that aren't in the car with me. So I think talking to God every now and again is probably okay. You know? I don't think I'm going to get any marks down for it. But it just goes to show you that you can be someone that's, a believer in God and still be somebody that can make fun of religion and say, yes, there are some things about religion that are kooky or crazy or whatever. You don't have to be like ardent about it. But you see these people in Hollywood, they do not like being told that their ideas are bad or that they're wrong about something. They snap. They go full Christian Fire. They snap. It's nuts. Let me see if I can. I wanted to pull something up real quick. I don't know if it will show up. Let me. Oh. Yes, it will. I'm wondering if I can reload it. All right. Let's take a look at some. I want to talk about movies for a second. Here we go. This is called The Numbers. It's all about the movie data numbers and stuff, right? So one of the things that I've been looking at is movies that are coming out and what they're making money-wise. And if you look at some of these movies that are coming out, it is absolutely amazing to me that you have a movie like, okay, so November the 10th, Clifford the Big Red Dog opened wide. For those of you guys who don't know what wide means, that means it went everywhere. Okay? It's in every town across the country, as many theaters as they can get it into. That's what wide means. All right? As of tonight, which is 1 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday night, so they don't have all the full numbers in from Saturday. That movie's only made $9.7, almost $9.8 million. Holy shit. I would be shitting in my pants if that was my movie. But did you see the movie? The advertisement for it? It looks like shit. The dog looks shit. The movie looks stupid. And I'm sure it's for kids. But, I mean, you got to get the kids in there, right? You got to get the kids to go in there. There's a bunch of movies coming out here in November. Belfast is coming out. I don't know what. Some of these are terrible. Tick, Tick, Boom on Netflix is coming out. The Power of the Dog on Netflix. All right, November 19th. Ghostbusters Afterlife from Sony's coming out. That's going wide. I'd be interested to watch that because I don't think it's going to make that much money. I think Paul Rudd, I think there's a really big interest there to see the movie. I really do. I think that there is an interest there to see the movie. I'm thinking that people hope that it can't be any worse than the fucking last Ghostbusters movie. Holy shit. What a phenomenal fucking train wreck that was. When you think bad movies, like when you think shit dog shit movies, I think Ghostbusters reboot with the female cast. It was just, it's just terrible. The acting wasn't good. It wasn't fucking funny. The writing was terrible. The special effects were over campy. It was dumb. It was dumb. And the fact that for the longest time you couldn't, if you said that movie sucked, holy shit, you got attacked by everybody. They were like, oh, you're saying, what are you saying? Because of Leslie Jones? Are you a fucking racist? Wait. No. Leslie Jones is the one that decided to play the role that was like stereotypical. You know what I mean? Like, she was the one. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But I'm interested to see what happens with it. I think Paul Rudd's in the new one, so I think he's a good draw. You know, Ant-Man does very good, and I think he does very good as Ant-Man. So we'll see. King Richard's going wide the same night. That's going to be some good competition because King Richard has a good cast. Unfortunately, Matt Damon is in it. And have you ever seen Matt Damon do accents? Now, I hope he does really good. I do, because the movie looks good. The movie looks filmed very well. So I hope it's a good movie. I mean, I always hope that they're good movies. I just constantly get disappointed. But I remember I watched, and if you haven't seen it, I suggest if you really want to see a piece of shit movie, I think there's by Lionsgate, and it was The Wall. With Matt Damon in it, where he has 17 different accents throughout the movie. Like, it's Scottish, it's British, it's South African, it's some kind of like pigeon-toed two-step Jamaican. Like, it's like, I, Mr. Guambiari, mister. Thank you now. Come on, sister. Let me get to drinking with you. It's like, wait a second. I thought you were from Britain and you were here to destroy some kind of magical fucking dragon. Are we smoking one before we do this? What's going on, Ja man? But fucking, he's terrible at accents. Matt Damon. And dude, I thought he was amazing in The Departed. You cannot tell me that Good Will Hunting is a fucking phenomenal movie, and he wrote it with Ben Affleck, who was definitely not on one of my favorite actors list. He's been in some good movies, yes, but boy, talk about a punchable guy, old Ben Affleck. But you can't. That movie's undeniably good. Good Will Hunting is amazing, and Robin Williams is a fucking full on stud in that movie. God rest his soul. But do. I don't see anything else that looks good. Untitled Disney live action. Oh, it's canceled. You know what that means? It must have been a Star Wars live action. Okay, so November the 24th. What do we got? House of Gucci. Don't know it. For the Love of Money. Don't know it. Encanto. It's from Walt Disney, so I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's going wide. And also Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City is going wide. Now, Resident Evil has one of those kind of cult followings. You know, they have, I mean, because they've had so many years of different Resident Evil movies over a period of time that it's a franchise now. You know, they've officially hit franchise status. I don't know how many they have. I never, to be quite honest with you, I don't think I've watched a whole one all the way through. If I remember correctly, is that the guy that made The Fifth Element that makes the Resident Evil movies? I know that the guy that made The Fifth Element, that's his old lady that's in that movie. I forget her name right now off the top of my head. Super smoking hot chick that plays Lily or whatever. And he puts her in like all of his movies where she's like not dressed that much. So God bless him because she's gorgeous. But except for, you know what movie he did? I think he did this, and I could be wrong. I'd probably kick myself in the ass for this afterwards. But I actually think he did. It was the, oh my God, now I forgot the name of it. The 1,000 Worlds movies, Valeria and the 10,000 Worlds or whatever. That was a good movie visually. The acting, not the greatest. It's got Cara Delevingne in it though, and she's in a bikini in parts of it. And Cara Delevingne is probably one of the sexiest women alive. She's really something else. Really, really something else. Her and Margot Kidder. Or not Margot Kidder. Look up Margot Kidder. No, and see, you would be like, really? Ooh, I bet Margot Robbie. Holy shit. My brain just fell out of my ears, boys. Uh-oh, Licorice Pizza. Oh, Pedo movie. November 26th. Right next to Ladybuds. Ladybuds? What garbage, man. These fucking... It's all garbage, man. It's absolute garbage. You know what I saw today? I actually saw the ad for it 2 days ago, the first one, and I was like, did I just hear that right? I had to see it again to make sure that it was actually authentic and real. And it is. And it's fun. Okay, so Mindy Kaling. All right. Mindy Kaling. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. I don't think she's funny. I never thought she was funny. I think that she forces her lines. I think that her delivery is terrible. I think that she was on a funny show, but that doesn't mean that she herself is funny. You understand what I mean by that? So people often that are surrounded by ensemble casts, like ensembles, like, you know, The Office or Parks and Rec or anything like that, right? You're lifted up by the people around you. The people around you can make you look better than you really are, because after all, the focus isn't just laser on you. But every time I've seen anything that focuses on her, it's terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. She's not funny. I've never seen anything that she's been funny in. Like I've never seen her stand up that I can think of. If she was funny, I would have seen it and remembered it. Because I can tell you comedians that I've seen and remembered, and these are nobody comedians. But they were fucking hilarious, man. And so I remember them because they were funny. I remember something about them. Like, for instance, Amy Schumer. You want to know what I remember from one of her last specials that was really funny, like super funny? Her trying to fit into that fucking dress. That was hilarious. That bitch looked like 54 pounds of sausage stuffed into a 3-pound casing. She couldn't even fucking walk. She's got her fat ass fucking cankled up legs walking in these high heels that she can barely stand on without them puncturing the stage floor and her sinking to her death. But she's trying not to fold her leg in half on these heels. But she's also wearing a dress that's 3 sizes too small for her. She's gained 40 pounds. And it's evident. But you could tell she was like, I paid a lot of money for this dress. I'm going out on stage in this dress. And boy, it was not a good look. It was not a good look. Not at all. And listen, I'm not a body shamer by any stretch of the imagination, even though that I'm pretty jacked dude, Clearly I'm in the gym all the time. I mean, clearly. You can tell, right? You get fucking big arms like that, big shoulders. It's a power lifter. Powerlifting. Incredible power. But, ugh. You could be a big girl and wear things and look real good. You really can. There's a lot of bigger girls out there that have mastered it. Right? They're like, I'm a big girl, so I got to make the points of my body look right, and I got to wear the right thing. I don't need to be a hoe. Like, you see this one black chick that's out there all the time. What the hell's her name? Wizzo, Lizzo, Flizzo, Bizzo. I don't know what it is. Something Zizzo. All right? She's fucking disgusting. She's as disgusting as Cardi B, a person who takes shits on Instagram. That happened. Look it up. It's disgusting. She took a dump on Instagram because she didn't want her fans to wonder where she was because she was running late on stage. She's like, I'm sorry, y'all. I had to take a shit, y'all. And I got this right here. Oh, listen. I mean, it sounded fucking horrible like diarrhea. It was terrible. I didn't need to fucking hear that shit. When somebody sent me the video, I was like, what the hell are they sending me this at Cardi B? You got to see this at Cardi B. So I'm watching it. And I'm like, is this bitch sitting on a toilet? It took me a few minutes. By the time I realized everything that was going on, she started blasting. It was horrible. It made me sick to my stomach. But Lizzo, I think she might be even more disgusting. That bitch Lizzo is like, I think it's Lizzo. She's like 350 pounds. She's a big girl. I'm not hating. But I also don't think it's a good idea for you to sit there and bend over and twerk your fucking disgusting boulder looking like your ass looks like a boulder that's been weathered by the years. The eons have weathered it. You have more caves, crevices, dents, dings, bumps, and bruises on your ass than a human being should have. And here's the thing. We shouldn't even fucking know that. Because you shouldn't be showing your you're a disgusting fat pig. You're a disgusting fat pig. And it's not because you're big. You act like a fucking asshole. And you are a terrible, terrible, terrible role model for anyone. And you say, well, I'm not trying to be a role model. I'm just out here being a fucking whore. Is that what you're doing? I mean, it's gross, man. It's gross. What man is ever going to want to take you under his arms and treat you like a queen and a woman if you're out there like that? What man? What real man? Huh? I mean, you got money, so you might have some buster-ass motherfucker hanging around. All right? But I don't care. If He's a real man. He loves me. He don't care that I'm a big. I don't care that you're big either, baby. But what I care about is the fact that you're twerking in a see-through dress, and it's not the first time. And I gotta tell you, it's fucking gross. It's inappropriate and gross. I don't think anybody should be twerking in public or anything like that. But especially when you're a big person, you gotta fucking be conscious of shit, dude. You got no self-awareness. You're a moose. You're a moose wearing a thong and a see-through dress. No one wants to see that shit. It's gross. You're fucking gross. I can't even imagine little girls looking at you going, oh, look, no, you're fucking gross. Lizzo. Blizzo. Gross ass bitch. Where are we at? Oh my God. So Biden called Satchel Paige a great Negro. I can't believe that. I mean, he was a great Negro baseball player in the Negro Baseball League. Dude, he was in the Black American League or whatever. You're going to the Negro League? You're going to old school? Oh, yeah, it's because you're a fucking racist, and you've always been a racist. It's just hilarious to me. And nobody says anything about it. They're like, well, it was a gaffe. Dude, how many gaffes, man? Trump misspelled coffee one time, and it was covfefe. Does everybody remember that? Covfefe? And then we turned it into something. Because everybody, like, the whole news jumped on it. They're like, he can't even spell coffee. He spelled covfefe. And then we all were like, yeah, we're going to go have a hot cup of covfefe. It turned into a thing because we just embraced it, you know? This guy's talking shit. Biden's talking shit about people calling people Negroes and shit. What the fuck? Why is that? That looks purple. It's crazy. Gotta drink that water. Especially late at night. Drink lots of water. When you go to bed, you should drink about half a gallon before you go to bed at night. And keep the other half a gallon by your nightstand. You should pound that first thing in the morning. When you lay down at night, after drinking that water, man, it rehydrates you really good. You probably have to get up and pee, but listen. Welcome to my world. You gotta get up and pee, You know? It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, especially if it's real late at night. Kind of nudge the old lady when you get back in bed. See if anything's doing over there. You don't get a sharp fucking elbow in the gut. I'm trying to sleep. Get the fuck out of me. Babe! Get your hand out of there. I'm trying to sleep. God. You suck. Stop. I'm trying to sleep, babe. I'm trying to sleep. I'm like, yeah. It's okay. Just lay there. It'll be all right. I love you. Oh, it's so fucking funny. So, anyways. Babe. Stop. God, babe. Every time you wake up to go pee in the middle of the night, you come back and you say, I got to work in the morning. Yeah, so do I. Daddy wants to play a little fucking game. Can Daddy play a game? Speaking of playing sex games. Yeah, Megyn Kelly. No, I don't want to have sex with Megyn Kelly. I actually don't like Megyn Kelly that much. I think I supported her at one time when she was on Fox, and I thought that she was doing a pretty good job. And then Trump came along, and she decided to pick sides, right? And Trump fucking destroyed her. Only Rosie O'Donnell, right to her face. Oh my God. That was one of the most classic fucking absolute slapdowns I've ever seen in my life. Megyn Kelly comes out. If you've never seen it, go back, look at the first debate with Trump. Megyn Kelly comes out, fucking double guns. Isn't it true that you've called women fat pigs, slobs, blah, 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 blah. She goes over this fucking laundry list of insults that Trump absolutely called women, and they deserved it. Every single one of them, by the way. Every single one. And she's like, isn't it true? Blah, blah, blah. And he looks right at her with a fucking smile. He goes, only Rosie O'Donnell. It's so good. It was so good. I pissed myself. I was laughing. I was laughing so hard that night. And that whole night was amazing. That whole night was amazing. That first debate where he just started fucking smash, smash, smash. And then the whole you can't stump the Trump videos came out. Those are something. Centipedes. You're a bunch of raging centipedes. It's so good. It just culturally was so fucking amazing. And the debates just got better from there. But she absolutely, with me right then and there, she blew all her currency. But, I think she realized what happened. She went over and she tried to work at NBC. And NBC absolutely fucking demolished her. Started to destroy her career. Started to destroy her as a person. And I was really, really kind of taken back by the way that she was treated, because I thought she would get more. I thought they would think to themselves like, oh, we finally got somebody that's like a conservative over here. Maybe they'll draw a conservative crowd. And she tried to speak in conservative tones from a liberal point of view, and that was still too much for them. So they were like, you got to go. You got to go. It's not the greatest, right? So anyways, she has her own talk show now that's on, I think it's her own web show that she broadcasts, but she's actually simulcasting, I believe, on Sirius XM. So I don't think that her podcast, her video podcast, is a part of the actual Sirius show. I think it's just in tandem with it. And I think that she's just simulcasting not only her TV show, but her radio show on XM. It's like a video podcast show that she has, very similar to mine. So anyway, she had on this cat. I have not watched this video. This guy's name is Dustin Heiss. He details the alleged assaults of the sexual nature by CNN's Don Lemon. I hate Don Lemon because I spoke to it earlier about Don Lemon. He's a hypocrite. He's nasty. He's a racist. He's always talking about how much white people this or white people that. He loves white dick, though. Homie loves white meat. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? And whatever, man. I don't care. Whatever your flavor is, dude. Right? But you're a fucking hypocrite. All right? You talk about all this crazy shit, and you live in neighborhoods that are ultra white. Number one, and number two, if any of the shit that ever happened in these inner city neighborhoods came and happened in your fucking neighborhood, you'd be on the phone with the cops so fast, especially you. Because you're a coward and a worm. And that's what cowards and worms do. Now, I'm not saying don't call the cops to protect your home. Of course. That's the very first thing you do. You call the cops, man. They're your backup. You're the first line of defense till they get there. Right? So if you're going to go into defense mode, the fucking thing that you do, especially if you're alone or if you're in the house with your significant other, your wife, your husband, your kids, your mom, dad, whatever, you call for backup. That's what you do. So you call 911. You say, "This is the situation. I need cops over here right away," and then you go right into defense mode. So I don't challenge anybody for ever calling the cops to protect your neighborhood. But Don Lemon's the one that's saying that if you do that, it's racist. If you do that, then you're showing you're exerting your white privilege. Yet he's the same kind of dude that would do that right away. So he's just, I fucking hate him. I just absolutely hate him. I just don't think he has any really redeeming qualities about himself, and I don't know. So let's listen to this real quick. I have not watched this video. We'll watch it together. It is the Megyn
You
Kelly
and
Show.
George wrap up your shift at your bar and decide to go out for a late night drink.
Well, we had worked almost 2 weeks consecutively because 4th of July fell in the middle of the week that week, or that year. And we had worked for almost 2 weeks straight. So Sunday we came into work and we had very little, if any, reservations on the books. So our boss, George, gave us the night off. And so we went to Montauk for a little bit, and then we came to Sag Harbor, and that's when I encountered Don Lemon.
Okay. And those are towns in the Hamptons that are very popular with folks. So you walk into this bar called Murph's, which I understand is very popular and sometimes with the celebrity set, though it's described as kind of a dive bar. Like it's not a fancy place. It's just popular amongst people who are well known.
When celebrities want to go slumming,
did you
they go
see
to
him
Murph's.
right away when you walked in?
So I walked in and I saw him right out of the corner of my eye and sitting over to the right. And he was with a group of a couple other men. And I said to George, I said, look, that's Don Lemon right there. And I decided to approach him and I said, hey, Don, let me buy you a drink. And before he could even respond, I looked at the bartender and I said, let me get 2 lemon drops. And if anything, that was an attempt at humor. And I didn't mean anything derogatory or, I wasn't trying to harass him or, and Don looks at me and says, I'm just trying to have a good time. And at that time I said, okay, I'm sorry. And I walked away and I thought that was the end of it.
Okay. And so what?
Okay. First of all, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm not going to stick up for Don Lemon here, but you shouldn't have approached him. You shouldn't have approached him. Okay? Now, what he meant by I'm just trying to have a good time, I mean, I don't know. I can't read his brain. Right? I can't read his mind. Maybe he was making a sexual advance towards you right then and there by saying, hey, I'm just looking for a good time. Like, hey, whatever is clever. Or he could have been like, hey, man, I'm just out trying to have a good time right now. Back the fuck off. I could see it going either way. I was not there, but in my personal opinion, he probably shouldn't have approached Don Lemon. That's just my personal opinion. Whatever he's about to say next, I don't know, but if it has anything to do with sexual nature assault, and I think I've heard this story before, so I think I'm pretty sure what he's about to say next, but so it's going to get graphic, but saying hi to somebody in a bar does not deserve.
Why did you do that? Had you been a fan of his? Like, what made you offer to buy him a drink?
Honestly, I was just being cordial. I work as a bartender, and part of your job is to engage with your guests and, just have a good time. Everybody, typically when they're at a bar or a restaurant, they're trying to just enjoy themselves. And I was just being friendly. It was just a hello. And I didn't mean anything derogatory towards it. But as soon as he said, I'm just trying to have a good time, I walked away. And that was that.
What time of night was this?
Approximately about maybe 10 p.m., maybe 9:30.
Okay. And could you tell at this point, this particular point where you would offer to buy him a lemon drop, whether he was intoxicated?
I mean, it seemed that he had had a few drinks, that's for sure.
How could you tell?
He just was kind of
kept trying to suck my
shaking
cock.
his head, and he was like, he looked at me like, you're a bartender, you pick up on these things. People sit at your bar
really?
and drink all the time, and
You got to be a
he did not
bartender to
look
know someone
sober
was
by any
drunk?
means.
Come on,
Okay.
dude.
So he declined your drink, and how far away were the two of you from one another at this point?
3 feet at the most.
And I'll ask you this because it becomes relevant shortly, but for the record, are you straight?
Oh, yes. I have a girlfriend, and
I don't believe him. I don't think this dude's straight. I mean, I don't care. But until he said that just now, I was totally on this dude's, he's probably on the same team. He's putting from the rough. He's a designated hitter or a relief catcher. Oh, God, it's so funny. Anyways, I don't believe him. He's about to say, actually, yes. I have a girlfriend and, I love her so much. She looks exactly like Don Lemon. Never mind. Don. Megan Kelly's like, I know this is going to matter, so, like, it becomes relevant in a second. So, like, I hate to ask you this, but are you straight or gay? Actually, I'm straight. I have a girlfriend, and yeah, totally straight. Got a girlfriend, and I can't wait to hear what he says.
Once this is all behind me, we hope to get married one of these days.
I have a girlfriend, and once we get all this behind me, I hope to get married one day.
Okay, so in no way was this a sexual come on by you offering a drink. Okay. And Don is openly gay and either engaged or married to a man. So, and that's been well established. Okay, so it was basically just a friendly gesture. He declined it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then what happened next?
So I walk around the bar, and about 5 minutes goes by, and he comes around the bar and comes up to me, and he says, pardon my language, but he says, do you like me? Is that why you're
I got to hear this. Hang on. Do you like me?
fucking with me? And I said, no, I just wanted to say what's up. And I was just like, what's this guy's problem? And I looked at my boss, and in that moment, he puts his hand down his pants and starts
Who's he?
aggressively.
Can you start that over?
Don.
You're talking about Don. Go ahead.
Yeah. So after he says, do you like me? Is that why you're effing with me? And I said, no, I just wanted to say what's up, man. And I look at my boss, and I look back, and he has his hand in his pants, rubbing himself aggressively. And he shoves his 2 fingers up underneath my mustache, thrusts my head back, and says, do you like pussy or dick?
I like fucking smashing people's teeth out of their mouth. Can you imagine somebody doing that? I mean, listen, I'm not going to lie. I did it twice last week. I just walked up to this chick. I think she was from Guatemala. She works at the deli down the street. And I walked up to her, and I was like, do you like pussy or do you like dick? Pow! I was musty. I hadn't even taken a shower yet today. I hadn't even taken a shower yet that day. I'd been working all day, sweating. I was like, I'll show you. I'll show you. Little immigrant from Guatemala. Who does this shit? Who does that? There's no way this guy's making this up. There's no way. I'd be very surprised if he was. And if he is, fucking go to hell, dude. But if Don Lemon really walked up to him, and I could totally see him doing it, dude. He just looks like such a fucking scumbag. I can see him being like rooting around the old root cellar, pulling out a fucking handful of dick cheese and being like, hey, you like the smell of this? I would kill a human being if they did that to me. I would kill them right there, dead. Right there, dead. I'd be like, you keep your fucking dick butter to yourself, buddy.
And he said it like 2 or 3 times after that.
2 or 3 times he repeated himself. Do you like dick or you like pussy? You like dick, you like pussy. Do you like dick or you like pussy? Gobble gobble, gibble gobble, one of us. Gobble gobble, gibble gobble, one of us. It's fucked up, dude. These people are fucked up.
And I just said, "What the hell, man?" And I just ran out the back door.
So forgive my indelicate question, but when you say he put his hands down his pants, what kind of pants was he wearing, and how do you know what he was doing in there?
He was wearing shorts, and I mean, it was pretty obvious to everybody that saw him what he did, that he was just rubbing himself, and with impunity, just pushed his hands up under my face enough to thrust my head back. And
all right, okay, here's the deal. Let's for a second believe that Dustin Heiss is telling the truth. And I believe he is. The second somebody comes up out of their pants, like you've seen him with his fucking hand down his pants, right? You've seen this motherfucker with his hand down his pants. And he's jostling his junk around. Like, first of all, like even my friend, like I got a friend, he's always got his hand down his pants. Always itching to shit. I'm like, dude, you're in your 40s. You motherfucker got your hand down your pants all the time. Knock it off. I said, the other day we walked out of a fucking restaurant. We were standing in the parking lot. You're sitting there talking to somebody, and you reach down your pants and start itching yourself. In fucking public, bro. What are you, 6? You can't keep your fucking hand off of it for 2 minutes? You fuck. Seriously, man. That's gross. Keep your hand off your dick. And that was my friend. And I was putting my friend in check. If I saw some dude who I knew who he was, and he's rustling around the root cellar, and he yanks his hand out, and he even starts to come towards my face, he's getting a blood nickel before it ever reaches my nose, man. A full-on, real bona fide, tasty fucking blood nickel. I'm going to punch that guy so hard in the fucking teeth that he'll never put his fingers up somebody's nose again like that. Never again. He'll think twice about everything he does for the rest. I'll hit him that hard. And I would do it to one of my friends. You know? Remember the game? A lot of guys used to play this game. I didn't play this game. Somebody played it with me one time. Just once. They used to go around and flick your sack. They'd be like, oh, bang. And they'd hit you with the tips of their fingernails. They'd walk up, they'd be like, pow. And they'd hit you with the tips of the fingernails right on the sack. It was like, gotcha. Yeah, got me. That happened to me one time. I put a fucking beating on that kid so bad that his father called me. His father called me, because we were younger. Wanted to know exactly why I beat his son up so bad. And I told him, I said, hey, they like to play this game that they just want to fucking include everybody in without asking. He walked by me and he slapped me in the nuts with the back of his fingers as hard as he could. He popped me. And I said, so for that, he got his fucking ass kicked, and I kicked his ass well enough that he'll never do it again. And his dad actually, you know what, understood. Said, yeah, you can't just go around slapping people in the nuts. That's not how it works. You're lucky he didn't kill you. Had we been college age, he would have gotten an even worse beating. Even worse. Like, by the time I was college age, you didn't want to get in a fight with me. It wasn't a winning thing going on here. So let's see. This is almost over. See what else to say.
Degrade me.
So he was rubbing his genitals, and then he shoved the fingers that he was doing it with in your nose and your face.
Correct.
Did it strike you as something he had ever done before?
I don't know. Anybody that acts like that in public and without any fear of what it might do to somebody or the consequences it might have, that's a pattern, you know. It's, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's protected by the fact that he's African-American, gay man on television, and I'm just some nobody.
Mm. When
and
he touched your face, did he actually make contact with your face?
Yeah, he pushed my face back completely.
Yeah.
Wow. And so did you stumble back, or did you maintain your footing?
At this point, I had turned around and my
Holy
back
cow.
was to the bar, and he pushed me so forcefully that I was leaning up over the bar. And
I'd have fought him.
After about 2 seconds of that, and him repeating, what he said.
P or D.
Yeah. And
Say
after
it,
all
Megyn
that,
Kelly.
I just
Say it,
said,
Megyn
what
Kelly.
the hell? And I just ran out the back door and
Ran out the back door. You're not straight, dude. You don't have a girlfriend, and you were totally hitting on him. What he did was abhorrent, and he should have gotten his fucking teeth kicked in for it. But you were hitting on him, and you're gay. I don't care. I don't care. You don't have a girlfriend. You ran out the back door. A man put his hand down his pants, juggled it around on his dick butter, and then rubbed it on your nose so hard that he bent you backwards over the bar. And then when he took his hand away from you, you ran out the back door. How about running up in that motherfucker a little bit? Give him an old left, right. Drop a headbutt on him. Elbow his bitch in the face. Do something. Be a man. Be a man. He Dirty Sanchez you in a bar in front of everybody. You did nothing. You ran out the back door like a woman. If you are a straight man that's engaged, okay, and let's suspend disbelief for a minute and say that you are, I hope your fucking old lady sees this video and goes, I can't marry this guy. He got dick butter rubbed in his face by a flamer from TV, and he ran out the back door. He didn't do anything. What's going to happen if a guy tries to come up and assault us one night when we're getting off the subway? I'm going to turn around and Chicken Little is going to be going down the street at 100 miles an hour. Jesus Christ already. Jesus Christ. I ran out the back door. You ran out the fucking back door. Unbelievable. Absolutely fucking unbelievable. To me, it just, I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. To me, it's an absolute mystery as to why wouldn't you fight him? I'd fight him right there. I'd be like, people would be like, yo, why'd you beat Don Lemon up? And then I'd tell him. I'd be like, yo, because I tried to buy the dude a drink. Maybe I shouldn't have approached him. That's my bad. But then he turned around and he shoved his dick, butter, cheese fingers in my nose and asked me if I like D or G. And I ran out the back door. That's the story. And the story should have been like, I tried to buy Don Lemon a lemon shot. It was a joke. A bad one that's probably been pulled 1,000,000 times on him. And then I just walked away from him because I realized I was being a dick. And I stood at the bar. And then later he circled around like some kind of gay great white shark looking for a meal. And he came over to me. And when he came over to me, he took his hand, he put it down into his root cellar, he rooted around, and he brought his hand out, and he started to move like he was going to put him under my nose. But I didn't let him get that far because I'm a man. So I grabbed his hand, and I slapped him like a woman. And I said, you're going to get the backside of that hand if you come any closer to me, lady. And then I threw him down to the ground, and one of his high heels fell off. That's what the story should have been. The story should have been, yo, some dude tried to put dick butter in my face and I knocked him out. And the fact that he was fucking Don Lemon should have nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. You know? The fact that it is Don Lemon should be even more reason why there's attention being brought to it. Because the guy, listen, I've made this argument even with Dave Portnoy. Dave, you're a multi-millionaire. Stop flying girls into fuck. Okay? And if you're going to do it, have an established relationship with the broad. Listen, you want to take a chick to Tahiti with, you got cash, brother. There's all kinds of ways that you can do these things. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Put yourself in these situations, right? And the other thing is I'd rig every place that you own with cameras. And I'd film it regardless. Okay? I would film it regardless. Now, I'm not saying that you would keep a private library. That's up to you. You got to do what's right? But if I'm you and you're going to have shit like this happening, I'd record every single bang session I ever had because I would never, ever, 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 ever leave a door open for some fucking scum rat to come along and write an article about me so that they can just beat me up, you know? So my point is that there's a certain level of wealth and fame that you get to where you have to start displaying a certain level of responsibility, right? You got to, because if you don't, you're going to find yourself in these weird situations, right? Don Lemon would have gotten fucked up if that was me. Don Lemon would have gotten messed up. I'd been like, not on my watch, brother. You put those fingers on my face, you'll never see those fingers again. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, you'll never see those fingers again. That's a fucking promise. Right? So, hopefully he gets his just desserts for whatever he's going to get in trouble with, whatever he's dealing with. Hopefully it all comes full circle onto him and he pays the big price, right? He pays the big fucking price. Because if there's anybody that deserves to be fucking wrapped up in some legal shit, it's definitely him. So, anyway, I'm going to move on because Don Lemon we've given him more airtime than he's even worth. And there's probably more people that will end up watching this and end up watching his show. Which, I mean, like 4 people. My four subscribers. I don't care. I love you all. Every single one of you. And I'm only saying that because I know you all personally. So, anyways, I'll move on to this fucking absolute disastrous mess. Have you guys seen this comptroller that Biden wants to nominate? This Asian woman. She's from Kazakhstan. Okay. She's a Leninist. She went to Moscow University. And a comptroller controls basically the economy. And being able to kind of manipulate the way businesses operate and all kinds of things. It's a very, very, very powerful position. They can control banks. They can control industry. It's incredible. Well, have you seen this lady that Biden wants to nominate for comptroller? She's fucking scary, dude. This chick is a communist. A communist. Now, I'm going to play a video here. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but it'll give you an idea of who she is. And she is a wackadoo. And when I say wackadoo, I mean it, man. I mean, first of all, she doesn't speak good enough English for me to be the comptroller. I'm sorry. You can call it xenophobic or all you want. I don't give a fuck. It's my country. We're the biggest, most powerful, important country in the fucking world. We need to be in a situation where the people that are running us are more competent. And if you can't say certain words in English, I don't care how smart you may be, you shouldn't be working for the American English-speaking people. I'm sorry. That's just the way it goes. Sorry.
So why would a president who claims he's a capitalist nominate a woman who wants to destroy capitalism as the chief federal regulator of all our national banks? Saule Omarova is President Biden's nominee for controller of the currency. That office specifically charters, regulates, and supervises all national banks, all federal savings associations, and federal branches and agencies of foreign banks as well. Ms. Omarova was educated in the old Soviet Union. She received a Lenin Personal Academic Scholarship and wrote her thesis on Karl Marx. She has said she wants to put an end to all private banking and wants to set up a, quote, National Investment Authority. Now, one of the purposes of that authority, we are now finding out, could be to help put small oil and gas companies out of business. Listen.
For certain troubled industries and firms that are in transitioning. And here what I'm thinking about is primarily coal industry and oil and gas industry. A lot of the smaller players in that industry are going to probably go bankrupt in short order. At least we want them to go bankrupt if we want to tackle climate change, right? The way we
just look at this gaggle of fucking people that she's on this call with, the Jain Family Institute. That's communist bullshit, dude. Look at these people. This group of absolute fucking losers.
basically get rid of those carbon financiers is we starve them of their sources of capital.
We want them to go bankrupt. That's so she's talking about American industry that employs 6 million people. So how will the United States Senate digest all the information as they look into Ms. Omarova's qualifications to control the storehouses of capital in America? Let's ask Washington Post.
They're going to ask Washington Post contributor fucking Mark Thiessen, whatever. I don't care about Mark Thiessen. Mark Thiessen's an anti-Trump fucking nut job. He was on full display with Dana Perino, both being nut jobs in 2016. I don't have time for his bullshit. And in the 2020 election, he was suspect, very suspect in trying to call Arizona right away with all the shit that we saw go on. I don't trust him, and I don't need to hear from his fucking punk ass. One thing that I do want to bring up to you guys is look right here. US dollar Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up 156.24 points. One Bitcoin is $64,777. Let me tell you a quick story about Bitcoin. If you've ever wanted to kill yourself, this would probably be the best reason for it. Oh, okay. So in 2010, I think, it was like 2009, 2010, I had a Honda CBR 900. Now, this was a motorcycle that I got that was wrecked, and I rebuilt it from the ground up. New plastics, had framework done to it, I put a new swing arm on it, totally rebuilt the engine, new exhaust, everything. It had the 900 RR Fireblade edition, so it was the GT, the 93. Had dual circular headlights, the whole look, small windshield, fucking bad bike. Thing sounded like an F1 car. And with my big ass on it, it moved, right? Well, for years, all I had was motorcycles. I didn't have a car. I had, I think at the absolute peak of my motorcycle owning life, I had 4 with no cars. I had a bike for everything, pretty much. But I had to get rid of some bikes, dude, because I was like, listen, I need a car. It's Florida. It rains, and it fucking sucks. Right? So I ended up selling some bikes, and I moved at the time. I moved up to another part of town where I was living. And I had that 900. And a kid that I know, he said, hey, man, I'd love to have that bike. He's like, but I don't have the cash that you want for it right now. And I didn't want much for it, you know. I was just like, whatever, you know. I've ridden it enough, or whatever. I get like, you know, some. He said, "I'll give you 3,000 Bitcoin for it." I said, "Get the fuck out of here with your stupid shit, 3,000 Bitcoin. What the fuck am I going to do with Bitcoin?" I said, "I can't cash it anywhere." Now this is 2010. I didn't know anything about Bitcoin, nothing. He didn't really even know. It was like a year or two old. He just somehow, somebody talked him into it and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But he's like, I'll give you 3,000 or some shit or 30,000 Bitcoin. I forget exactly what it was. It was a shitload. That's why I think he said 30,000, not 3,000, right? Well, this number's up even more. This Bitcoin at 64,000. Me and my friend did it at 50-something thousand a Bitcoin. I would have been a billionaire. Now, I don't know where this dude is anymore. I lost track of him many years ago. But if he had any of that left over, that dude's got some fucking cheddar. I laughed at him. I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with Bitcoin? Now look at it. Jesus Christ. If I had that now, oh my God. I just knew nothing about it. I knew absolutely nothing about it at the time. It was, you know, it was just absolutely something that we didn't know about. Cryptocurrencies were kind of new, and I wasn't trying to get myself involved in this deep crypto thing because I had no idea. You know what I mean? I had no idea about anything about it. So I feel so dumb now thinking about all of what I could have had. Let's see if I can find this other thing. Hey, I'll see if I can. Trying to find a video for you guys. All right. So I kind of found this video. Let me just. All right. I had to do something real quick. Okay. This is from Dan Bongino earlier tonight. I tried to catch this on Fox and I could not catch it. He must have been at the very beginning. So I want to listen to this. We'll listen to this together, and then I'm pretty much going to punch out of here, kids. Let's listen to this video.
Just condemn violence and burning of buildings down. How hard is this?
Okay. So when Osama bin Laden attacked the World Trade Center, did you say America should deal with it peacefully?
You're not answering the question, man.
I'm posing questions to you.
That has nothing to do with people burning down businesses in New York City. You're not going to answer the question, Hawk, but listen.
Wait, okay, I'll give you this. I'll give you this. I don't condone it. I don't promote it, but I will not condemn it.
Yeah, that's just cowardly, man. That's just cowardly.
No, you're a coward.
Stand for something.
You know what? You see, you're trying to bait me. God bless you, man. I'm out of here. Nope. God bless.
Yeah. You are. Joining me now for the rebuttal is the man in that clip, Greater New York City Black Lives Matter chapter co-founder, Hawk Newsome. Hawk, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
Isn't it
sure? So, Hawk, Mayor-elect Adams responded to what you said. I want to play this clip and get your reaction. Check this out.
New Yorkers are not going to live in fear, and we're not going to be intimidated by anyone. This city is not going to be a city of riots. It's not going to be a city of burning. If fringe elements want to hurl rhetoric like that, that's silly to New Yorkers.
Hawk, your thoughts and your response to Mayor-elect Eric Adams.
I'm thankful for this opportunity. What we have here is some activists, he wants to call us fringe, but let's face the facts. We opened our own school in the Bronx. We fed 25,000 people last year. We provide Christmas gifts. We even paid funeral expenses. We do a lot of great work in the city of New York, so much so that last year he called me personally and asked me for a political endorsement for his mayoral campaign. But this isn't about me and Eric Adams. This is about Black New York. We went into his office with issues, and we presented these issues in a very intelligent and articulable way. And where we hit an impasse was when we said, hey, we want to hold you accountable. He said, don't hold me accountable. I'm holding you accountable.
That's right.
So here you have this politician who everybody voted for, who ran on a campaign saying, hold me accountable. And now he doesn't want to be held accountable. I just really don't get it. Right now, he's in the media and there's this circus. That's not who I am. I'm not a politician. I'm one of the people. And what the people need are
this guy's voice
opportunities. The Bronx needs schools that don't have a 60% high school dropout rate. We need...
Wait a second. The reason that there's a huge high school dropout rate is because there's no black fucking fathers in those communities doing the right thing. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. This guy wants to talk. This guy is, okay, so he's doing what every BLM activist does, and that is he's shifting, excuse me as I scratch my eyeball out over here, he's shifting the personal responsibility of individuals onto the government, saying that they're creating a place that's not conducive for their living, instead of him saying, well, we need to man up.
Housing projects that me and my organization don't have to go and clean urine and defecation out of personally. We shouldn't have to pick up garbage from our children's playgrounds and sterilize the equipment.
Let me ask you a question. How does, I don't understand how rioting though and implying that there's going to be bloodshed will give those places more schools and better schools.
Fair question.
And how it'll fix the problem. I mean, you clearly said that. I heard you. Why would you say something like that?
Let's call it foreshadowing. The unit that he wants to bring back, the style of policing that he has promised in New York, is responsible for the death of Eric Garner and all the protests that follow.
Eric Garner, let's be very fucking clear. Eric Garner is responsible for the death of Eric Garner. If he'd have just complied over some loose cigarettes, but he said he wasn't going to do that. He was going to be a fucking asshole. He had a heart attack and died. Again, shifting personal responsibility onto others.
Don Bell, who was murdered on his wedding night, and all the protests that follow. And Amadou Diallo, an immigrant who was shot 41 times by the same unit for reaching for his wallet. Dan, I was a kid who was home from college, driving through the Bronx, a good kid who was snatched out of his car and searched frequently. We're talking about sitting on your stoop, eating sunflower seeds and drinking what we call a quarter water or a cheap juice in the hood. As a teenager, just being a kid, and this same unit would jump out and frisk and harass us. We are in 2021.
Lying.
There's so much technology out there. There's so much research and data out there that we could find new ways to keep our community safe. We challenge him to reimagine policing.
We did, Hawk, we tried this. I mean, I was a cop in a very busy precinct in East New York, Brooklyn. And I can tell you, for every incident you cite, there's 50 to 100 to 1,000 other incidents where plainclothes police officers are pulling some drug dealer off the street who was slinging crack and had a gun on him who wanted to kill an innocent victim. Why do you leave all that out? I mean, of course there's going to be negative police-public interactions. There are millions of interactions a year. But you citing 5 or 6 bad incidents as a reason to get rid of plainclothes policing strikes me as ridiculous, and then implying somehow that there's going to be, riots if they bring back these plainclothes police officers. I don't understand how any of that helps. You won't. Why can't you just condemn violence? How does this help?
Why would I condemn violence? Why would I do that? I believe in self-defense. I believe that if someone
no one's talking about self-defense. All right, let me make it simple. Forget this is clearly a little bit over the head here. Do you condemn rioting and burning down buildings?
Whose head?
You're not answering the question. Do you condemn riots and burning down buildings after a police use of force incident you don't like?
No, what I'll say is I understand when a police officer unjustifiably kills someone, why people lash out. I understand that completely.
I didn't ask. Why can't you answer the question?
I'm not going to condemn.
You can't answer the question.
Nor am I going to condone it. Now, see, here's the thing.
When Osama bin
Laden and those terrorists attacked the United States of America. Can you let me talk?
Man.
You have a show. You talk as much as you want.
You seem to talk a lot of junk, and then when I put you on the spot, you won't answer a damn question. Do you condone violence?
I'm answering the question.
Or do you condemn violence?
Answering the question.
You're all over the place. Just condemn violence and burning of buildings down. How hard is this?
Okay. So when Osama bin Laden attacked the World Trade Center, did you say America should deal with it peacefully?
You're not answering the question, man.
I'm posing questions to you.
That has nothing to do with people burning down businesses in New York City. You're not going to answer the question, Hawk, but listen.
Wait, okay, I'll give you this. I'll give you this. I don't condone it. I don't promote it, but I will not condemn it.
Yeah, that's just cowardly, man. That's just cowardly.
No, you're a coward.
Stand for something.
You know what? You see, you're trying to bait me. God bless you, man. I'm out of here. God bless.
Yeah. You are out of here. You're right.
You're just trying to bait me. You're just trying to bait me. Fuck off, man. I'm baiting. Serious. What the fuck is wrong with people? Seriously. What the fuck is wrong with people these days? This guy's a fucking lunatic, man. This guy's a fucking lunatic. He gets on there and he won't even say that burning down buildings and rioting and destroying stuff is bad. What conversation is there left to have? What conversation is there left to have? He won't even point out the bad behavior of others and say that it's unacceptable. There's nothing that's left to talk about. There's nothing left to talk about whatsoever. He won't even, because he doesn't care. All right? And he can sit there and state, well, look at all the good things that we've done, blah, blah, blah. It's your community that put those, it's your community that you're a part of that put those communities into the situations that they're in. Okay? If you don't want cops in the street frisking people and checking for weapons and stuff like that, change the community, bro. Change the community. Listen, I'll tell you a little quick example, and then I'm fucking out of here. Because it's late. And I've given you guys 2 hours of my precious time tonight. We lived in a neighborhood, beautiful homes. All the neighbors are pretty nice, but we had one fucking shithead house. One shithead house was 2 doors down from me. I let those guys know that the shit was going to fucking stop. In no uncertain terms, it was going to stop. The shit was going to stop, or the shit was going to hit the fucking fan. Now, it did help that there was somebody at the time staying at that house that knew me and was like, listen, if he came over here and told you to knock it off, knock it off. Because he'll come back by himself and it'll be bad. Or worse, he'll come back with a bunch of his friends and it's going to be worse. And I'm in my 40s. I shouldn't have to do that. But you want to know something? The shit fucking stopped. And then they started to start the shit up again. And I just went to the cops and I said, look, either do something about it, or we as neighbors have already discussed the fact that we're going to do something about it. It's completely up to you. Do you want to be a part of it and help the situation? You guys can all be heroes, or are we as citizens going to have to take care of it for ourselves? You know? They helped us. They showed up and helped us. So, good gravy. There it is. You know what that means. Our time has come to an end. 2 hours. I'm going to do this every week. Week in review. We'll just talk about stuff. We freewheel, whatever. Maybe hopefully get some guests on eventually. So that you guys can enjoy something besides just looking and listening to me. Even though I do know I'm a wonder. It's very fun. So, anyways, everybody else, enjoy your Saturday night and enjoy your Sunday off, because Monday it starts over again. And I will see you guys on that Monday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, you bunch of fucking animals. See ya.